big elephant in the room. It's a hydra-headed problem. And I think that we need to start from the basics. Right now, I think it is difficult to dimension just how bad the welfare situation is because we don't even have the necessary statistics, in my view. You know, when you talk about welfare to a lot of lawyers, especially the younger lawyers, they're thinking just in terms of their remuneration, you know, their take-home pay, or the salaries are inadequate. But I think the challenges of welfare in the profession go way beyond that. That is part of it, but it's just a part of it. I think the welfare of the profession goes to even the income-generating capacity of the legal profession. Given the fact that we're producing 7,000 or roughly 7,000 lawyers every year, is the profession itself generating a sufficient income to carry that base load? I don't think it is. And that's what I think we need to look at, which will obviously then cascade into better remuneration for those who practice the profession. So one of the primary things I would like to do at the earliest possible opportunity, if I'm elected president, is to engage with the Attorney General of the Federation. You know, in our Legal Practitioners Act, there's provision for a Legal Practitioners Remuneration Committee. It is that committee that in 1991, when Prince Bola Ajibola was Attorney General, that established the Legal Practitioners Remuneration for Land Matters Order of 1991. Nothing else has been done since then. So first, I think that that committee is established by law because it is expected that we would put scales of fees in place for as wide a variety of legal work as possible. And this is just a minimum scale in my view. We can always charge more, but at least let's have a base that ensures that we're not all engaged in this race to the bottom. Because one of the things that's killing our profession now, probably because there's so many of us, is that every time you tell a client this is your fee, the client will tell you, oh, I know somebody who would do it for half of that. And then we'll go to that one and there's somebody who would do it for half, until we all end up doing more for less. And then we wonder why the profession is becoming so talking about profitable is not even the issue. It's becoming impossible to sustain its practitioners. So I think we need to attack that. I think we need to get that committee reconstituted. We need to put scales of fees in place. Then we need to attack the real problem, which is that even the existing scale of fees we've not succeeded in enforcing it. We need to put these scales of fees in place and we need to enforce them. I had a conversation with a gentleman just this morning who is a lawyer. He's also a chartered surveyor. And I was saying to him that in their space, there are other professions where, you know, they seem to have done better than lawyers in managing to enforce scales of fees for services they render. And he said even with them, it's not perfect, you know, but that at least they're doing a much better job than we are. That when they're dealing with private sector clients, there's still the tendency for some degree of undercutting. But that when they're dealing with, you know, public institutions, everybody insists on the scale because the scale is actually put in place by their regulators. I think we can take a leaf from that. And he also made the point, he said it's just a matter of discipline. And this is why I say all these issues are connected, because if our disciplinary system is working properly, if we know that these rules have been put in place for our own benefit, to sustain our livelihoods, then I think it's the height of indiscipline for anybody to go against it. You know, if organizers can agree that this is how much we're going to fix a tire, and anywhere you go in Nigeria, you won't get your tire fixed for less. I think we as lawyers we should take it as a challenge, that we should also put scales of fees in place and work out a mechanism for enforcing those scales. It will be for everybody's benefit, not just for some. So whether you're a young lawyer, you're a middle-aged lawyer, you're an old lawyer, it will benefit all of us. It will improve our welfare tremendously. So that for me is the flagship of my welfare proposals. There are a lot of others. I mean, of course, aside from income, aside from remuneration, I think there are a lot of other things that affect the welfare of the individual. Conditions of service in the workplace, sexual harassment in the workplace, adequacy of training, opportunities for career development, mentoring, and a wide variety of issues that I would like to deal with. But like I said, that for me is the flagship. I think if that's, at least as far as welfare is concerned, if that's the only thing I can achieve, because an NBA presidency is just 2 years. If I can in 2 years put the scale of fees in place and put a system in place that ensures that it is being enforced, I think I would have done well. And then somebody else can take off from there.